Here we are again.
Here we are again.
Um, been
What's
a
going on? Anything good?
busy couple of days. We've been moving and grooving, lots of content going. Um, work.
I don't
Uh,
know. I feel like we've been nonstop. And this week is kind of like mellowed out. But
this week is starting to mellow out. The back half of the week is going to be a lot slower for us. The first half of the week was nuts.
yeah, but Sunday's going to be busy. Sunday we're going to our favorite place.
Yes, headed out to American Dream Mall.
I love that place.
If you haven't been, highly recommend it. If you're anywhere near it, it's worth a day trip at least to go check it out, just to walk around and see them all. Um,
You could spend, I mean, we'll spend all day there. There's so much to do.
we will spend all day there. You can definitely spend a lot of money in this mall.
It's awesome
A
though.
lot of money in this mall
Theme
between
parks, water parks,
water parks, the food.
museums,
Yeah, there's what they got, the mini golfs, they got the
arcade,
arcade. Yeah, there's the food. I'll say the food a million times because
the
the
best.
food there is amazing. There's an indoor skating rink. We talked about it before. There's the indoor ski lift and there's like the freaking just everything. Like there's so much there. There's always stuff going on. If you're a Jonas Brothers fan, they're doing the thing there. Was it
Jonas
next month?
Con? Yeah, next month.
Jonas Con is next month. Well, I guess by the time this airs, it'll be this month. It might actually air after Jonas Con.
Really?
What
And
day
the
is?
20 something? I forget.
Maybe it'll be close. So they're doing Jonas Con, or already did Jonas Con, depending on when you listen to this. But we love American Dream. That's always a busy day for us because it takes about an hour and a half or so, 2 hours to get up there, but it's worth the drive. It just, it's a lot of like New York traffic. Um, I enjoy that. It's a great way to spend my day off. Seriously.
Oh, I thought you were making fun of me.
No, I'm dead serious. I enjoy going out and spending my day off, like with the family doing stuff. Um,
That's not an unpopular opinion. Or is it? People like to
I
spend their
think it
days.
depends on who you talk to, right?
Yeah, I
I,
think
I
it's
think that, like, in my world, I think that that's an unpopular opinion. I think, well, no, it's they say that it's like a trending thing that like dads are now spending more time with their family. It's like, well, they're just being good
regular
dads.
people. Like
Like,
what?
I get that. I think it's an unpopular opinion amongst people of like my parents' age group.
To
Not
spend their
necessarily,
days
yeah,
off doing.
stuff with their family and
Yeah.
like even just doing things, right? It's like, I think of like my dad, like he wanted to, but he was just basically a potato on
Really,
his
I
days
picture him
off.
doing house projects.
He tried. He tried.
I
You
mean,
you know though there was half done. Couldn't even say they made it halfway, but like quarter done house
quarter done
projects
house projects that are still from when you
everywhere.
were growing up,
Still
still
not
not
done.
done. But
Still not done.
we kind of polled the audience and we were talking about unpopular opinions. Because I just feel like this is such a fun topic and it gets people riled, honestly, which is funny.
It does, and we had a lot of submissions. We
A
had a lot
lot.
of people that gave their input. So we're gonna go down their list first,
And we're
and
going to
then
kind of
we
talk
each
about
we
them.
each have our own couple of
Don't read mine
unpopular
ahead.
opinions. Well, you've already seen
I know,
mine.
but that's different.
Um, so so the first one, and I hear this one a lot. This is a big one. Is that paper towel or toilet paper rolls go under and not over? Now, what's your take on this?
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm indifferent. I've put it both ways. I feel like we always have it under. Like almost 99% of the time it's under.
Unless I put it on, so 99% of the time it's under. I go over. I believe that it should go over.
Over meaning tipping off of the.
Yes.
I like it like that. I'm fine with either. I'm really indifferent.
Now, apparently, there's like a blueprint drawing for, I guess, toilet paper and or the toilet paper roll that shows it going over. So people kind of reference that as the sort of end all be all of if it should go over or under. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're in a house that's using toilet paper frequently, it doesn't matter. I had heard that like apparently it had something to do with like, in hotels they didn't want like dust collecting on it or something. There's like a lot of different things that revolve around that. So
I could see that.
shoot us a message. Let us know. Are you toilet paper over or under type
Becky's
of person?
over.
Becky is over.
Yeah.
Is she over? Is she under? I think she's under. She's under.
Are you sure?
She said under.
Okay.
That one was submitted by cousin Becky. So the next one, we had a couple submissions. So Steph to talk about, Ash Nicole and our friend Laura all talked about pineapple on pizza, both positively and negatively. Now, as a Canadian, originally, not anymore, but
Not
as a
anymore,
Canadian, I enjoy pineapple on pizza. I think that in the right, like, I'm not just going to do a cheese pizza with pineapple. I'm not going to add pineapple to anything, but that combination of the salty sweet with ham and pineapple or bacon and pineapple, it makes sense. It makes sense. Pineapple cooks really well. Like the sugar's cooked down. I think it's fantastic.
The only time I've ever had it was at Mod when we went for the pineapple on pizza catering content event or
Yeah.
whatever. and that was the first time I had it, and I was like, "This is fine." Like, I don't think it needs red sauce, in my professional opinion. I would rather it just be like I feel like there's a way to do it.
I've seen some
Caramelized
people
pineapple, ham,
I've seen
white.
some people that do it with like almost like a sweet or tangy barbecue sauce
Yeah,
and do it really like Hawaiian
I
style.
like that.
Um, yeah, I
I
think
don't
that
think
again,
it's
it's
disgusting. People are like, "It's disgusting." That's a
no
little
people are
much.
like it's disgusting or it's not traditional, but you know what? Like nothing's traditional anymore.
No.
Nothing is traditional anymore. It wasn't like it's funny because right, like it wasn't invented. It was invented by a Greek guy in Canada.
Was it?
Yeah, um, probably George Strombolopoulos, and he said, "Hey, I'm gonna put the pineapple on the pizza because I got pineapple. Why not? Because that's the kind of shit my grandfather would do. He would just be like, "Oh, well, I got this can that's 30 years old, the fucking spam or
We just
something,"
put it on here.
and he's like, "I'm just gonna add it into this chocolate milkshake, whatever, and call it a thing." So I'm for pineapple on
I'm for
pizza.
it.
I'm for it,
At the
and
end of the day, it's fine.
I think that if you're against it, like
Why?
I just think people are so like angrily against pineapple on
They really
pizza.
are.
Like, let it go. You don't have to eat it. Nobody's forcing you to eat pineapple on
Well,
pizza.
that's kind of like all the unpopular opinions. It's kind of just like, well, too
That's
bad, so
fair.
sad. All right, next
Um,
one.
so the next one, we're gonna skip that one for right now. Um, this one was submitted by our friend Candace. She would rather, and I think you and I absolutely agree with this, even though we go out a lot, is stay at home and watch a movie rather than going to the movie theater. I think aside from movie theater popcorn and maybe the seat, but like we have reclining couch here. I get that, I enjoy like we did it when we got Wicked during Catgate was we had all the lights off and like the kids really enjoyed the sort of like at home movie theater experience.
I'm going to be completely honest. I am not for that.
You like going to the movies though.
I like going to the movies. I love snacks. I love pop. I like very passionate about
You
popcorn.
are passionate about popcorn.
And also, I don't have the attention span to watch it at home. Like, I will pick up my phone, I will scroll. I'm not, I mean, it really depends. I have to be in the mood to sit here and watch a movie.
I think it depends on the movie too.
Yeah.
It depends on the movie.
Yeah.
But like I think setting up the home thing
It was cute.
for a
When we watched
movie that
Wicked,
I've
like we sat there
seen,
and watched it. It was
yeah,
fun.
I like that. I like the ability to kind of just sit and scroll and kind of check in and out, but also like relax in the dark. I like that. But then again, if it's a newer movie that I really want to see, yeah, I'm gonna go to the theater. I think there's a good balance there. Depends on what it is.
I think it depends.
That's fair. That's fair.
I like that.
So Laura also submitted actually the next two, and we'll do those together. So number one is that cottage cheese is nasty, and number two, breakfast for dinner is great. My opinion. I think there's a time and place for cottage cheese. I don't think that it's nasty. I think I'm going to be doing a hear me out episode for cottage cheese specifically. I've seen both cottage cheese with yellow mustard on it and then cottage cheese with tuna mixed into it.
Well, have you ever seen the one that's like it's like the skinny people on TikTok or Instagram do it where they dip the hot dog and or the sausage and the cottage cheese with mustard? Like it's like a high protein like packed.
Maybe that's where the mustard
Yeah,
thing.
that's
I
where the
don't know.
mustard thing came from.
But apparently people love mustard on cottage. I haven't seen that trend,
Okay.
but people love cottage cheese on mustard, and like I like cottage cheese and I like mustard. I also like sausages. So if that's like a whole
It
thing,
is a whole thing.
I think I could get down with that. I really do. And for me, breakfast is great any time of day. I would eat breakfast all day, every single meal. Doesn't matter what it is. First of all, I fucking love pancakes.
You go hard for
Pancakes,
breakfast.
pancakes, eggs. I
I've never seen
love
someone love breakfast so much.
breakfast. I like out of all the places I've ever gone to eat, IHOP is my favorite restaurant. Fuck everywhere else. IHOP is number one.
That's a
Any
disgrace.
diner,
That's a
a
disgrace.
diner, like you give me fucking eggs on a plate or a stack of pancakes, I'm good to go. End of discussion. 5 stars.
Cottage cheese, I'm gonna be honest, don't know if I've ever had it. So I can't really speak on that. I feel like I wouldn't like it. Is
You
it like
probably
is it
wouldn't.
like I don't want to say it wrong because
Go ahead, say it. Say it. Say it for the world to hear.
regatta.
That's not how you say it.
Regatta.
Regatta. It's a fucking boat race.
Is that what it's like? Regatta?
Like more wet.
Oh, then absolutely not. I don't want that. Breakfast for dinner is great. I wouldn't say it's great. It's acceptable at best. It's not my favorite. I like it more as an adult than I used to. Like my mom was big on breakfast for dinner, and I'd be like,
Robin
"Fuck."
seems like a breakfast for dinner.
She
kind
would.
of
She'd be like,
person.
"We're doing pancakes, bacon." I'm like, "No."
It's because it's easy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Robin.
She answered my
I know. I know your game, and I totally get that. I respect it.
But no, I don't want that for dinner. I just don't.
That's fair.
All right.
I like this next one. It comes up a lot. Is from Steph to talk about again. Not returning your shopping cart. I actually think that this is becoming more of the popular opinion. I think that there's been a change in this, and there was like I think there was like a sub comment to this one, and I agree with this too. Is that They have those special parking spots in the grocery store parking lots that are like for the expected mother or parent of small children.
You want to be next to the shopping cart.
Those spots need to be next to the cart corrals. They need to be right there so that way the parent doesn't have to either leave, because that's, I think that the people who leave their carts are either an asshole or a parent who doesn't have the ability to leave their kid. And I get that. Like, parking lots are a very scary place for a parent. You know, you never know what's going to happen. You hear all these horror stories. So, you know, we can all do our part to help. You know, if you see
Well,
a
what is the
parent,
unpopular opinion?
I think the unpopular opinion is being okay with not returning your shopping cart,
Okay.
right? I guess.
What's weird is I never, ever before kids would return my shopping cart because I'm lazy,
That totally checks out for you.
but now I return it.
Yeah.
I always return the shopping cart because I think it's rude as hell.
I return it because it's rude as hell. The amount of times that I've pulled into a parking spot and like you don't see the cart until you pulled in.
And
And
you're like, oh,
you're like, crap, there's a freaking cart there. They get blown around. They like, you know, again, my car isn't anything fancy. So I don't care if it
oh,
gets
it's fancy.
scratched or it's not. It's the family van from hell.
Anyway,
Um, I don't care if it gets scratched or anything, but I worry about other people. I worry about people getting hurt. You know, I worry about a kid, you know, running into a kid. Like, you never know what's going to happen. You just got to look out for your fellow man. Now, this next one, this will cause some stir.
I don't like it.
So, my friend Emily and our friend Valerie both said this, and I'm going to agree with them.
Well, then you're out. You're done.
Unpopular opinion, cannot stand Taylor Swift.
Well, that's just blasphemous.
Here's my thing, and you know that I am not big into pop, like modern pop music.
Uh-huh.
It just doesn't do it for me. I like the catchy tunes, don't get me wrong. I know that she has some catchy songs. Great, I'll absolutely sing along. I know the kids love them. I know you like them. I don't get it. I don't get this like idolization, this over idolization of these people. She's just a singer.
Well,
Why can't we idolize?
like to me, I love Taylor Swift, right? I like her music. I'm fascinated by her. I think she's whatever. But I agree with you is that I cannot stand and also don't get the like, I'm gonna sob, cry when I see Taylor Swift behavior. I don't get it.
I don't get it with any of them. Like, I mean, listen, I love Michael Jackson. I think Michael Jackson was a
You
fantastic
cried when Meatloaf
performer.
died.
I did cry when Meatloaf died because, but then again, okay,
You cried
so
during the Jim Henson documentary. Like there is examples of when it matters to you.
I think that's different.
It's not. It's not because to them that's their Jim Henson.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna like pass out and hyperventilate crying
You would if you could meet
about it.
him. If you could somehow be back in time and could meet Jim Henson.
Oh man, I would die.
I don't get the idolization unless it's for Kermit. I just think it depends. Everyone has their preference. But I do think Taylor Swift is the exception where like people are like obsessed with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like unlike anything that you see.
Right, but like, why? Why do we care? Like, listen. Yes, I love Meatloaf. I love Jim Henson. Am I like? Do I would I want to know everything that they're doing every single day? Would I like? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think so. That's not who I am. And
It is an unpopular opinion though.
it is an
Because people
unpopular
love
opinion.
Taylor
It's an
Swift.
absolute unpopular opinion. And I would also say this is that not necessarily Meatloaf, but Jim Henson. Jim Henson gave a lot to the world. And come at me all you
Says
want.
you.
Come at me all you want. I think that Jim Henson contributed more to society than Taylor Swift does in terms
We're
of
gonna put up a poll in our stories. I'm so
that's
curious.
yeah.
Jim Henson or Taylor Swift? What a weird comparison, but I'd be curious.
Like does Taylor Swift inspire you to be a better person? Does Taylor Swift have things translated into umpteen different languages because she created a show that was going to unite the world? Like, Jim Henson gave a lot to society
He
as a
didn't have to go
whole.
that hard, but he did.
Yeah,
All right, so that's
great.
a good one.
I love this one. So our friend Chef Devin, he submitted this one. He says it doesn't matter if it's a sub or a hoagie. A good sandwich is a good sandwich.
But it's not a sub.
Interesting. See, I agree with him on this one. I agree. I don't care what you call
Oh, I
it.
don't care what you call it, but
I'm
I
not
don't
passionate about that. There are definitely people that are passionate about that around
a
here.
sub. Is
And
that a
this is
Philly thing? People say sub?
no, hoagie is around
Hoagie's
here.
Philly.
So like a lot of the like regionals, like you got hoagies, you got heroes, you got grinders, you've got I don't know, they call them something weird in fucking Pittsburgh, but everybody from Pittsburgh is weird. Um I mean, like, speaking of somebody who has lived in different parts of like the East Coast, it very much matters, right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember going to culinary school and referring to it as a hoagie, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a sub."
What do you call a cheesesteak?
A cheesesteak is a cheesesteak,
Okay.
or it's a steak sandwich with cheese. It depends on where you go. I think the terminology of Philly cheesesteak is becoming more commonplace. However, there are people and like purists that will basically say that you can only call it a Philly cheesesteak. Like we're at about the maximum radius outside of Philadelphia that you can actually call it a Philly cheesesteak
I don't know if
and
I've ever
have
had
it
a Philly
be a
cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak. I don't buy into the whole Pats and Geno's thing
Never had
and
them.
all that kind of stuff because I think that there are better cheesesteaks. You know, shout out to places like Lucatelli's, Maple Glen Pizza. Like those places are putting out Amalio's as well, like
Joseph's.
Joseph's, putting
They're
out
putting out
way
a good
better
cheesesteak.
cheesesteaks than the touristy like typical Philly
I don't think
whiz
that,
with
and I also don't
onions.
think they're using good meat. Like, I don't think it's as good as like ribeye meat. Maybe it is now, but like back in the day, I feel like it was just all chopped steak shit.
I don't know enough about them to
Yeah,
really comment on it. That's not a piece of Philadelphia culture, Philadelphia food culture that I've ever really gotten into, which I don't know if I should, but I think it's just been overdone. Like everybody does it, so like I
everyone
truly
does the
don't care.
cheesesteaks.
I'll try it eventually. I'll make a video about it. I'll go out to Pat's and Geno's and give it a shot someday. I hate driving into the city, so.
It's fair.
Next one from cousin Becky. We'll give the next two are from cousin Becky, and she's wrong. Before I even say it, she's wrong. Number one, mashed potatoes are gross. Becky, fuck you. Okay?
My sister too. Mashed potatoes. She
Yeah.
hates them. I've never seen anything like it.
No, I'm sorry. Then you just haven't had good mashed
Yeah, but here's
potatoes.
the thing. I can't speak for my sister because she eats meat, but mashed potatoes are a vessel for steak. Like you're gonna scoop that shit up with like you. I mean, I get it. Like mashed potatoes are good by themselves,
Right.
but like the turkey with the mashed potatoes, the steak with the mashed potatoes, you're dragging it on the plate. What does she need mashed potatoes for with a
She can have
fish?
tofurkey. She can have,
Like, why would she need a
whatever.
mashed
For
potato?
those of you who don't know, Becky's a vegetarian. She's a pescatarian.
So what does she need mashed potatoes for?
Just to fucking eat.
That's fair. That's a
Mashed
disgrace.
potatoes are amazing.
This other one, she'd rather have vegetables than fruit. I actually stand on that.
You're a vegetable girl.
I am. I don't
I
like
I
fruit.
love fruit.
We know you ate all of the fucking blueberries
I
today. I
did.
did not buy those for you.
I'll smash a carton of bloobs any day. Um,
You
yeah,
know me. Why do you think that I don't eat fruit? If you had to guess.
so much work.
No, I'm just cheap. Like I love
Oh,
strawberries.
that's fair.
I'm not gonna cut myself strawberries when they could be for the kids.
Yeah, but
I know.
that's all. But okay, so for that reason is why I do enjoy succotash for dinner. Is like you can get a big bag of succotash for like $1 or $2, and it's amazing.
I
It's
made way.
great.
You did not eat all this. You're a disgrace. I made way
Anyway,
too much tonight. Next one. Who's Valerie O? Because she's out. We're done with her.
Instagram friend.
Okay. Well, she doesn't really like bacon. That's unpopular.
I might need some clarification on this because I listen. I believe that I believe the children are the future. I believe that bacon has a place in some areas. I think that bacon has become one of those ingredients that is just overdone. People put bacon in everything, and I admit I cook with bacon a lot. I think that like if you know how to utilize the fat in bacon, utilize the flavor in it, you can do a lot with it.
Well, one of my unpopular opinions is that bacon does not belong on a cheeseburger.
Ooh, I would disagree with that.
I know you would. I do not like meat on meat, and I don't know why.
Lucky
Anyway,
for me, I guess.
anyway, that's not true though because I like those tenderloins that are wrapped in the bacon.
Yeah.
I just think on the burger, like I want to taste burger. Bacon to me has an overpowering flavor to a burger.
Okay, so hear me out though. Hear me out. What if, and I discussed this at work, what if you took the bacon and because I like to grind my own meat to make my own burgers.
Uh huh.
Like, what if I were to grind the bacon into the burger? So that way, it's not like you're not having like that crisp bacon put on it, but you're gonna get that sort of bacony flavor mixed in.
You'll have to make it for me.
All right, I'll do that.
My whole thing is like if I get a bacon cheeseburger, I'm eating the bacon separate. Like I'm going to take it off, even if the cheese is connected. I just same with like a breakfast sandwich, kind of. I feel that way.
Ugh.
The meat falls off when I eat it.
But to be fair, well, because you're doing it wrong. Sausage is the superior breakfast meat on a sandwich.
You're done. It's bacon.
Sausage patty on a sandwich. Sausage links in my mouth. Um, the next one. So our friend Lisa, so handle Ellie Creative.
Who we're now blocking.
Yeah, we were like really building a friendship online, and I don't know how I feel about this. I do know how I feel about this one. Her unpopular opinion is that she doesn't like Figment from Walt Disney World.
Disgrace.
Figment is the superior character in Epcot. Like,
I would wait for the meet and greet
I would absolutely wait for the meet and greet.
just to get the picture.
If you go to Epcot and don't ride Journey into Imagination,
Some people, I mean, it's probably the most skippable ride, and I completely disagree with that.
yeah, no, you
The
have
kids
to.
love it. It's funny. It's cute.
That's great.
Quirky.
Get you inside for a little bit.
I
It's
like it.
awesome. It's sorry, Lisa.
You're wrong.
You're a good person, but you're also not a good person. I want you to know this. I'm disappointed.
All right, this is going on to yours. Let's hear them.
All right, so number one.
Wait, we didn't do Marissa's. We should
Oh,
discuss this
all
one.
right. So we'll
This is a
discuss this one.
more deeper topic.
This is a more deeper one. This is brought to us by our friend Marissa. Is that purposely having children that you can't afford? And I know that there are people out there that are just like, children are a gift, all this kind of stuff. And I don't disagree with that. But I do agree with Marissa. I think that, I see too many people that
Put themselves in a bad situation, and
are
it's
not like listen, I understand accidents happen, things like that, but like you got to be smarter about it. If you're in a position where you couldn't financially handle the burden of a child and you're going to put the child into a situation like that, like be a little bit smarter, pull out faster.
nobody got to take that level. No, I agree with Marissa. I think it's completely irresponsible.
I mean, listen, it, it happened to my own family. It's just I've seen it happen. It's awful, and unfortunately, the child suffers,
Suffers, and that's just sad.
especially if you don't have that quote unquote village around you to help out. You're just going to struggle a lot. I mean, I think like we do fairly well for ourselves with the two kids, and it's still a lot of expense, and I couldn't imagine being in a position where where you couldn't financially handle that.
I do want to bring something up now that I'm thinking on it. Kind of correlates too. What is your opinion, unpopular or not, on this? Grandparents raising their grandkids. And the reason I thought of this today is two reasons. One, I am one of the only moms that I can tell that drops and picks up her daughter from preschool. It's all grandparents, like 60 and above, that drop their grandkids for the day. And then the same, I was at McDonald's today, and it's like daytime, regular when most people
Mhm.
are working, and it's all these little kids with 70 plus grandparents. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a case by case scenario, right? I think it really depends on the family dynamic and how close they are and
Yeah.
what the living situation is like. Like, are they all living together? Is it, we're in a weird sort of economic shift where, yes, like you have a dual income household where both parents are potentially working, more than likely. That's becoming more commonplace. Now you're also at that weird shift where there are some people of the grandparent age who had the ability to retire. There are some grandparents now who don't have the ability to retire because of economic whatevers. And I think it just really depends. I really think that it depends that like is the grandparent there as an extra figurehead, as that extra person, extra set of hands, or is the grandparent being treated as like a glorified nanny?
Well, here's an unpopular opinion that I just came up with, and I'm sure people will have something to say on my opinion. If my parents watched our kids so that we could work, I would compensate them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I wouldn't be like giving them my whole paycheck, but you are going to get compensated somehow.
Sure.
And I feel like that's not popular.
Don't say that too loud. Your mom might take us up on that.
Right? She's like, I'm quitting today.
I don't think I could afford your mother.
All right. Nicholas's unpopular opinions.
All right.
Let's hear
Number
'em.
one, red velvet sucks.
You're wrong.
Listen, you
You
don't, I will stand, this is the hill that I will die on for sure, is that red velvet sucks. Majority of red velvet sucks.
Yours doesn't suck.
Mine does not suck because I make good red velvet. I don't believe that people truly like red velvet, or I'll even lump carrot cake into this one sometimes. People just like cream cheese frosting because listen, ask anybody. Anytime somebody is like, I want a red velvet cupcake, they go, ooh, that cream cheese frosting. Every damn time. Nobody ever goes, ooh, I fucking love red velvet cake. No, they go, ooh, I love that cream cheese
I
frosting.
like both, and I like yours, and I like it the way it combines. I don't want cream cheese frosting on a chocolate cake or a vanilla
No,
cake.
because it doesn't belong on a chocolate or vanilla
Exactly,
cake.
and it's good.
Right. So like somebody had to create this dumb vessel for cream cheese. They're like, oh, this frosting is delicious. Let me create a dumb vessel for it. And boom, here,
I hope you get hate for this one.
let's throw some red food coloring into
Do
it.
you
Like,
like red velvet? Like, can you just be honest with yourself? Yes or no?
no,
Okay, that's
no,
fair.
I don't. By the way, red velvet is not just chocolate cake dyed red. Also, I guess an unpopular opinion. There is a lot more complexity to it. And I think that's what differentiates a good red velvet cake or cupcake to just like the mass produced bullshit. Is it's not just like a cake with a little bit of cocoa powder and red food coloring.
I
Like
think,
if
yeah.
you're using buttermilk, if you're using like a vinegar base in
That's
it,
why
if
yours
you're
is so
really
good.
like,
Yours is
like
flavorful.
you have like actually take time and Google like the history of a red velvet cake, and
And
your
it's
mind
not
will be it's not what you think it is. It's not what is mass produced out there. So that's a whole other thing. All right.
next.
Number two, we have created such a customer service driven culture that our perceived idea of value is tainted, right? And I'm specifically referring to small businesses, and I've seen this more in the last year doing content creation, is that there are so many people that are like, well, it's too expensive to shop at small businesses. It's too expensive. It's too time consuming. It's too whatever, you know. But then you also hear on the other hand that everybody's like, I want to shop local. I want to shop small. I want to like support my community. And I'm realizing now more than ever that it is so accessible. It is so affordable. You just have to do like a little bit of extra work to find these businesses. And I think that we look at convenience as a huge, we value convenience over personality and personal attention in business more than anything else. Like people go, yeah, I can go to the grocery store and get everything I need, but like I can go to a local bakery and I can go to a local supply shop and a local hardware store and whatever, and I'm going to get a such better experience doing that. And to me, and I think that like that's like my preach for 2025 is give value back to the small businesses, because to me that's a huge value. Like I walk away from some of these businesses that I get to collab with and I will like cry because these owners are just the nicest freaking people and they deserve the world. And I think that we need to put more value on that.
I would say I see like I feel that way about small business restaurants, bakeries, food related stuff
Sure.
because that's something that I'm passionate about is like homemade.
How do you go to sleep?
But am I going to choose the small hardware store or am I going to Lowe's? I'm going to Lowe's. I think if we didn't have the kids, we would be more likely to support more small businesses.
Sure.
Because, like you said, it's not as convenient. And sometimes convenience is just what you can do as a parent.
Yeah. All right. So we did bacon. I said bacon is both overrated and underrated, which we already talked about. Now, here's my ultimate unpopular opinion, and I will catch hate for this one.
I stand with you on this one. So hate away.
Dogs are dumb. And I'll even go as far as saying pets are dumb. I hate the idea of pets. And listen, I don't hate you if you have a pet. I don't judge you if you have a pet. I don't think anything differently of you if you have a pet. If you want to love on a pet, that's fine. Do your thing. And I want to clarify, I don't hate animals. I love animals. I will love other people's dogs. I will love other people's cats and whatever's. I think for me, dogs are dumb. 5
Oh, they're
stars.
not just dumb. I hate them. I hate dogs. I am passionate about this. That's a topic that riles people. Like when they know that about me, they're like, really? Like you get judged for that one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm allowed to feel ways about it.
I mean, some people hate kids
Mm-hmm.
and I hate both. So here we are.
Here we are.
Are we going to take an intermission
Yeah.
to see what's going on? We're going to take an intermission and then we're going to get to mine. Thanks for cooking. As Addie's crying. And now back to thanks for cooking. Now that we've took our brief, we hate dogs intermission. I have mine. Are you ready?
I'm ready for this.
All right, unpopular opinion. Screen time for kids is completely acceptable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know we all said it before we had kids. And then we all had kids and then we changed our minds about it. You know, that's one of those things. I would say like the screen time and like fast food and stuff where you're like, I'm never going to give my kids that. I'm never going to give my kids
Just
screen
come to
time.
reality. Come on.
Listen, if it means my kid is going to eat a meal, they're going to get McDonald's. You know, kids are picky eaters. It's just what it is. You know, some people are fortunate that their kids are not picky eaters, and I both love you and hate you at the same time for that.
I wish. That would be a dream.
Yeah. And then, you know, some kids are just like, I don't know, they just,
Well, another one that I always see is like, I can't believe you can't teach your kid to sit in a restaurant and they need a tablet. I am so sorry, but I've worked in too many restaurants and my kid will not be that asshole.
yeah.
So it's
Because
just
then
too bad.
you don't give them the, then they're like, they're running around. Because here's the problem is I found that the parents who don't do that, the parents who won't give the tablet in a restaurant,
Or also not paying attention
they
to their
don't pay
kid.
attention. They just, oh, little, you know, little fuck faces running around. And
Taking
like,
45 minutes to order.
yeah,
Tell them what you want.
like, no, let's go. Let's go. If I trip over your kid, I'm going to hurt him. You know, I'm a big guy. So, you know, do what you have to do.
So that's one that I had. Another one is marching band is a sport. feel like this is super unpopular, but shit, my ass was sweating.
I mean, listen, obviously, I'll agree to that. Having done 4 years of high school marching band, 5 years of competitive drum and bugle corps, marching band is a sport, cheerleading is a sport.
100%.
I believe that any of these activities that require time, the commitment, the effort, the energy,
Physical
the
energy.
physical stamina, even the mental stamina, like listen, I would lump things like fucking chess in there. Like those are sports. If you're competing and you are like mentally exhausting
Yeah,
yourself,
like what
physically
defines a
exhausting
sport,
yourself.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I look up the definition of what is a sport. But there's always been that thing. And I remember like when I was in high
I would
school,
say in high school that was always a big one. I'm like, you don't like seriously.
but I remember in high school the cheerleaders and the marching band people like coming together and basically being like, no, like we work hard too. In fact, we were working harder than our football team most of the time. So
So true.
yeah.
Next one is college is overrated and not necessary. I stand on that.
Yeah, I think and I'll say that like here's the sort of caveat to that is as somebody who has been to college and never finished, school is not for everyone. I learned way more out in the working world than anybody who went to a 4-year
I
college
think it
would learn
depends
in
what
that time.
profession. Like
Oh,
there's some
absolutely.
you
Like,
obviously
I'm not
have
gonna
to go
say
to
like
school.
like, "Oh, you know what? I feel like being a doctor today, like I'm gonna go perform a kidney transplant." That's totally different and not knocking people who go to school either. But yeah, I think that and this kind of ties in with my belief that I wish that like grade 12 or they did a follow-up year was spent out in the working world
Hmm.
just to understand like some people get out in the world and they're like either a they go and spend a lot of money on college and it's not for them,
Yeah.
or they go into the working world and realize like hey I could do more with this and maybe like go to school part-time,
A
whatever it
lot of
is.
wasted degrees in the universe, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, there's like I'm sure it's some crazy percentage, but it was always like, oh, say like 50% of people that go to college don't end up in the profession that they went to school for.
Yeah.
And now there's less weight on that, especially in, service-based industries. And it's funny, like over my time having gone and interviewed at places, there were so many jobs where I was actually overqualified because of my experience for it, and they would turn me down because I didn't have a degree. And it's like
Disgrace.
you're gonna get somebody who comes out of freaking like restaurant management school
Who sucks.
who I guarantee
Has no
you
idea what they're talking about.
doesn't know the difference between his head and a hole in his ass. Like it's just ridiculous some of these
They saw a
people that come
PowerPoint.
out. Yeah. Yeah, they're like, "Oh, well, I can, like, make a P&L sheet." I'm like, "Great. Do you know how to handle a fucking crying server on a Friday night in the middle of a dinner rush when 3 of your cooks walked out on you? Like, do you know what to do then? Probably not."
I agree. So that's one. And I think the last one that I think is a good one to end on is that content creation and social media is a job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that we are now in a world where obviously there's big commercial marketing, but I think in terms of small business marketing, like gone are the ways of print,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
So
yeah.
you don't have these businesses out there, these like small local businesses that are creating like their little local newspapers and little local flyers and
No.
stuff. There's a lot less of that, but there's more content creation and that becomes the business. Like I've been very open about like what I do, what you do, and I know that there are restaurant content creators out there who don't charge,
Hmm.
and that's fine. That I don't judge other content creators for how they go about doing this. Right? For me, this is my business. This is what I am building. I offer a certain value, and I believe that that value needs to be paid for. Like it's my time that goes into editing. It's your time that goes into editing. I'm traveling. I'm spending. There are expenses that go with it. So I am not believe me, I wish that I was in a place financially where the idea of charging like I could get away with not doing that.
Hmm.
But I am not in that place, and my time is money.
Yeah.
This is the business that we do now. And you know, I think that it's a good world for everyone. I think that it's an equal
What did you
opportunity.
view it as before? Because I feel like before I was like, I don't know if I was just jealous and would say, I don't think it's I don't know if I ever said it's not a job, but I think I viewed it differently until I was in it. I like the work
It's
that you put in is you don't know it unless you're in it, how
yeah,
much actual work it
until
is.
you're doing it, you have no idea what type of work actually is involved with this. And I'll say this, like over the last 2 years now, so I went from working essentially two full-time jobs. I left the second job so we could continue pursuing content creation. That's when I really started getting into doing restaurant reviews and filming more variety of things.
Mm.
and that has now become a second job for me, the second full-time job, and then some as we now start managing social media accounts for businesses on top of everything else, to the point where I am now looking to take a step back in my full-time job, just my regular 9 to 5, so we have more time to do this. And it's that sort of thing where, like, I enjoy what we do. I love what we do.
Yes.
Yes, it's a lot of hard work, but it's one of those scenarios where, again, I get to meet awesome business owners. I get to meet, really cool people throughout this process. I get to try new places, try new foods, try new experiences. I mean, again, just the other week I was at Covered Bridge with their head roaster doing that experience and like learning about that. Like I would never have done something like
Well,
that.
it's so crazy because like the life that we lived before when I was working full time at the tap house and you had 2 jobs or
Mhm.
just 1, I don't even
I
remember.
don't know.
But, like, we were on opposite schedules. We couldn't afford to do all this other stuff, and we had no free time to do it anyway.
Yeah.
We never ate out, like, we never experienced new stuff. We went to, like, one place, like, summer maybe, like, we were definitely limited.
Yeah.
And now I feel like this has opened up a whole new
I mean,
stuff to do, like
it's basically like you're working from home, which is awesome. And for people that have come up in the retail industry or the service industry where that's not a luxury that we are afforded, having that opportunity now to work from home basically and be a mobile have a mobile
it's
office,
crazy.
it's
When I
it's
actually think
awesome.
about, like, running around a restaurant on a Friday night for, like, 100 to $150, and then the potential of making that on social media sometimes, you're just kinda like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So it's a job.
Yeah.
I
And it's work, right? Like this stuff doesn't just fall in our laps.
no.
This people kind of look at this and go, "Wow, you guys get to do really cool stuff." It's like, "Yeah, we do," but there's effort that goes into it. And sometimes it you do get lost in the moment sometimes
I mean, you
because
said the other night, you were like, I forget where we were. And you were like, I wish we could just go out and not film it.
yeah,
But like, we wouldn't have gotten to do that if we had to pay for it. I
yeah.
know it's not like, I mean, like, there's so many different
Yeah.
times where it's like,
Well, and I think like any job, it has its ups and its downs, but I think and I encourage people like if you want to put the effort in, like go and do it and become a content creator because again, I think that whoever you're supporting wants your support, needs your support. Our big platform, my big platform is small local businesses. And there are so many people in this area that do that. And I support them in what they do because the more eyes that get on it, the more these businesses are going to boom. And I just think that it's a great culture and a great community for that. Like
and I don't
there's
think it's dying anytime soon. Like,
mm,
even if different medias, like if TikTok goes away again or whatever, there's always going to be something like,
yeah, there's always going to be something out there. There's always going to be different channels to do this on. We are in the digital world. So
yeah,
it's much more commonplace now, and I think that it's really about creating those connections. I
hmm
think what's really cool about this is again, we meet people across different businesses, and we have the ability to connect them.
yep,
It's like, hey, cool, I know this person, and they would benefit from your business here, and they would benefit from your business here, and to be able to bridge those businesses together in a local community is really cool too.
agreed.
There's so much more to it than just making money and
Posting. It's
posting
not
and
just like
eating
that.
food. Like
No.
there's a culture to it. There's such a lifestyle. And, again, if I could do this for free, sure, I absolutely would.
Yeah,
I would do this all day, every day,
totally.
and I would never regret it.
Yeah,
I love it.
totally.
So I want to know if anybody else has any unpopular
Yeah,
opinions
leave
out
them in the
there.
comments because I want to hear any more. I just think it's funny because like
Yeah, shoot us some
they always
messages.
write like they're always just a good conversation.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely. Um, yeah, let us know. Let us know what you think about our opinions on things because again, these are opinions. They're not fact. They are just merely our stance on this. So, we're not going to lose any friendships because we don't like dogs, I'm sure. Well, somebody might get
someone
pissed
might
off.
get butthurt. My mom didn't submit any. We'll have to ask her. I need to know her most of her opinions are unpopular.
Yeah,
She's like, I'm not gonna bore them.
most of Robin's opinions are about. We need to do like a whole Robin episode. We're gonna get Robin out here to do a whole episode.
I think that would be great.
I couldn't even imagine that. You people are not ready for an episode with Robin.
I know they think I'm a sarcastic bitch.
We
Like, where
yeah,
do you
we
think I came from?
we gotta ease her into it. We'll
She'd be
do
like,
we'll do an episode with your mom, and then we'll do an episode with your dad to like bring people down off of that.
my mom would be like, what do I do? What do I say? Where do I
They
go?
both would though.
They
They're
would.
like their weird, awkward
They
ways.
would.
Unpopular opinion. We need to do an episode with your parents.
What if we did it together and we asked them questions together? See, that
Oh
would
my
be funny.
gosh, that would be hilarious.
They would just be arguing. Christopher, don't say that.
That would be a treat for everyone, for sure.
You never know what my dad's gonna say.
Shoot us a message. Let us know, right? So if we were to do an episode with Lauren's parents, what would you want us to talk about?
Yeah,
What would what would the topic be? What paths would we go down
I know there's so many.
with the Forlano family? There's a
I
lot.
think guests would be good. I think we should get some guests up on here.
Oh, absolutely,
I think it would definitely bring a different,
absolutely.
my cousin for sure. There's
Yeah,
definitely some people I'd want to get on here.
we could take this on the road a little bit. Go to
Yeah,
some of our favorite businesses, and
yeah,
talk to some of our favorite business owners.
that'd be cool.
That'd be really awesome.
All right. Well,
Until next time,
thanks for
thanks for
cooking.
cooking.